Okay, moving on here. Here's a question from Tim in Huron. Hey, Mary Kay, isn't it time for the Browns organization, top to bottom, to stop all excuses? Every year we start the season, they're a good team. I'm going to kind of paraphrase here. It seems Tim was a little fired up when he texted this to you. But every year the Browns start the season, they're a good team, and then there's excuses. Is this the year where there are no more excuses?
You know what? We'll have to see. I mean, there shouldn't be any excuses. The only excuse, as we've been talking about, would probably be injuries to key players because right now they have all the talent that they need to get the job done. I can't think of really any position on the team where they don't have really good players and some really good depth. It's not like you're going, oh, who's going to be the right tackle or who's going to be the left guard? It's not like that at all. I mean, most of the starting positions are already locked up, and there's really good quality depth behind most of the starters. So I don't think that there are any excuses. I do think that Kevin Stefanski has what it takes to call the right game for Deshaun Watson, so that can't be considered an excuse. Deshaun doesn't have 700 days off of a layoff, out of football as an excuse this year. So I do think it is time to get the job done.
There's only two scenarios where, like, at the end of the year, we'll be making excuses and saying we can't judge this team based on their win-loss record. And that is that's injuries. Deshaun Watson and Myles Garrett really are the two in my mind. If one of those two gets hurt in camp, especially Deshaun Watson, if one of those two gets hurt in camp, then that's really the only situation where I think at the end of the year, if they're 7-10, we're kind of saying, yeah, but it's like put up or shut up time. This is year 4 of Kevin and Andrew. They've never finished better than third in the division. They obviously did win that playoff game back in 2020, but that was a long time ago now. Different quarterback, very different looking football team. I mean, it's kind of go time. Like you gotta do something here. I'm not saying you have to go win the Super Bowl this year, but you have to be a really good football team this year.
Yeah, I mean, they did not spend all of this money not to make the playoffs. I mean, they've got their key core players in the prime of their career and at the peak of their earning potential. I mean, you've got Myles Garrett now making his double-digit millions, and so many other guys are too, including Amari Cooper and Nick Chubb, Joel Bitonio, Wyatt Teller, of course, Deshaun Watson. So you've got guys averaging or making a ton of money this year. Denzel Ward, the list goes on and on and on. You didn't invest this kind of money, these kind of resources for this not to be a playoff team.